Now then, on the Sunday night, we had another raid, and we went out, and they absolutely ringed it round with incendiary bombs, and it was just like fairyland all over the shore. And up that drive, they were all there. We weren't supposed to do that, but the chaps on what were on duty, they were under shelter, and we got the bombs out. And there was one dropped on a house up here, and we got that out. And there was one up Pool Place. It went straight through the front where the porch is, and we bashed the door in and got that out. And then we went all over, and we went to the dogs, and they dropped incendiaries on there, and there were greyhounds running all over the street.
Is this the racing track? The
Yes,
Darnall
yes,
racing
yes.
track?
The racing track, and they dropped bombs, and the chaps that were on duty there had opened, and then the dogs were running all over the street. And we were, you see, it was so...
What is an incendiary bomb?
Well, I used to give lectures on these, and now I forgot all about them, you know what I mean? I used to cut them up and get so much, and then have a little, show people what it was, and I can't remember. They were about that length.
About 2 foot?
No.
18 inches?
Yeah, about that, yes, and about 3 inches diameter. And they had a fuse, you see, and when they contacted, they could go right through the slates and things like that.
And they landed and then went off, or?
Yes.
Yes.
But then they had some with their explosive in, and you mustn't put water on them.
So you had to know which was which?
But we didn't, really. But further down, the dropped landmines down in Staniforth Road. Well, we weren't in contact with that. We were just around this area. And the landmines, I think they came down with a parachute, and they knocked all about 5 or 6 houses and everything round about. Yeah. We told the police that a bomb had dropped over there somewhere, and the poo-pooed it. And a chappie, weeks after, he went to dig his garden over, but it was dug over. And it was a bomb about 10 foot long and about 5 inches. And they exploded, detonated it, and houses in Pool Road, Pierce Road and all that. They brought 1 or 2 windows with detonating it, and that's how it carted away.
Did you have any sort of defence against, like a gun to fire at the planes as they came?
Oh no.
Could you hear the planes or see?
Oh yes, we could hear them, and the first time one came over, they got it in the searchlights, and it looked all silver, but it didn't drop a bomb on Sheffield.
Was there a lot of damage around Attercliffe and Darnall?
Yes, there was, yes. Especially further down. You see, they ringed it with incendiaries and then dropped bombs, and we missed all that practically. We only got 1 or 2 incendiaries and bombs.
Well, very fortunate, really.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened to the people whose houses had been bombed? Where did they go?
They set them up in places, you know, and did the best for them. But I know that they took them to different places. They had different places. These halls, you know, public halls and things like that.
Would they stay there and until they found?
Till they, yes.
Can you remember what Darnall looked like after the Blitz?
After the Blitz, Darnall didn't look much different. It was more Attercliffe that caught it.
Can you remember what Attercliffe looked like? Was it very badly damaged?
Round about Chelmsford Street, down Staniforth Road, where the landmines dropped, yes.
What about the centre of Sheffield? Was that?
or the centre of Sheffield, the bottom of the moor and all that, that's where they would drop the bombs on the first night, on the Thursday. And I came home from work, as I told you, and I told my sister, I said, you'll not be able to go to work today. And she had to pay the wages out. Anyway, she did go. But we had to walk every morning, or if we saw a lorry, we used to jump on and get a lift wherever they were going. And I used to either walk backwards and forwards morning and night, which is 5 miles from this house, and we used to have to walk it.
So that's 10 miles a day?
10 miles a day.
Yes. What?
Because they damaged the trams as well. There were trams then, you know, and they dropped trams in the Wick. They dropped incendiary bombs or bombs on the tram.
So of course they couldn't go up and down.
No.
Because of the lines. Yeah.
And the electricity and things like that, and the water.
Yes. What happened in the blackouts? What did people have to do in the blackouts?
They used to have to put blackout curtains, which we've got today. We use for
Painting.
when you're decorating.
Yes.
And yes.
They used to put curtains up, did they?
Yes, blackout curtains. Yes.
And what about the cars? Were they allowed to put their lights on?
They used to have a black disc over, so as and the trams were just the same, dim lights.
So everything would be very dark?
Very dark, yes.
Could you have electric light on in the house?
You could have electric light in the house. I fitted it up in the kitchen there, and I can't remember how I did that, but I fitted it so when you opened the door, the light went out.
Well, I suppose it was a very frightening time, wasn't it, the war?
Yes, it was, especially for my mother and sister. I had to leave her in the shelter at the back.
Can you tell me what the air raid shelter used to be like? The inside of it and where it was situated?
It was situated, and we dug a hole in the ground and then put these corrugated sheet in.
A structure, corrugated?
A structure, yes.
Into the ground?
Yes. They were all fitted and bolted, all done for you to erect like. But I put one on the lawn at the back, and it filled with water, so it was no good. So sister and mother had to use this one in the next garden, and they used to put earth over it.
Was it underground, was it?
Yes, underground, yes.
Were there many cases of the shelters being hit with a bomb?
Not that I recollect, no.
So they were quite safe, adequate, would you say?
And funnily enough, I got a letter from the ARP saying that if any maternity cases came up, they gave me instructions what to do. But I never had that to do. But it was getting in contact with these people, you know.
Yes. What happened? How were the injured transported during the Blitz? Were there ambulances?
There were ambulances, yes, but I never saw anything of that. It was getting through to tell them that people, and the fire engines would only go to the works. They couldn't do anything about the ordinary houses. They were mostly for the works, if they got work through at the works.
This is when the stirrup pumps came,
yes,
was it?
Yes.
Were they used a lot then, the stirrup pumps?
Yes. We had to take them round to various places.
What was the spirit of the people like?
Very good, very good. Yes. They were a big help to me during the war.
Was there a big community spirit?
Yes, very much so.